10, 219, 219.
Forward Progress, a Chicago Bears podcast with Dan Bernstein and Matt Abatacola on 312 Sports.
We give you Forward Progress here on 312 Sports. Dan Bernstein, Matt Abatacola. He's back. The coach is back after their valiant effort yesterday. The Libertyville was 12U Wildcats.
Tough loss at Warren, but good football team. Unfortunately, we had to play 3 levels up in our weight class for some reason. So there's 6 divisions in our weight class, and we played 4 levels up for some reason. That was awesome. That's a nice way to end the season, week 9, with a team 4 levels higher than you in your weight class. But anywho,
good experience.
Oh, God, it was such great experience because you learn more from the things you lose, Dan, than wins that are fun
or
and enjoyable for everyone involved.
Yeah. We are brought to you by Beer Church Brewing, New Buffalo's brewery, pizzeria, and a historic church. Wood-fired Neapolitan pizza, small batch craft beer, brunch every day. Visit beerchurchbrewing.com. Are you okay?
I forgot to tell you, I buried the lead in DBU.
Why?
We're going.
Who?
Next, Natalie and I. We're getting away to New Buffalo.
You are?
Yes,
You're going to
in
Beer
2 weeks.
Oh, okay.
So
Did you tell John at Beer Church?
I did not. I'm gonna show up and just hug him without telling him who I am.
And be like walking like a weirdo.
And and then just hug him and then whisper in his ear.
Hey.
Yeah.
You got any pizza for me? Maybe a little Pontius Pilate or whatever you're serving.
I'm gonna try them all.
They're good stuff, man.
I can't wait
when they bring it out in the cross.
Yeah,
it's great. We'll talk about them a little bit more later. We always appreciate their partnership. I don't know what that was from the Bears. Oh, first of all, thanks to Nepo Dingus for subbing yesterday. It was sort of a last-minute thing that we didn't realize that your game was going to get shifted, and it's great to have somebody who is also watching all the games and is willing to work for free. So it was nice of him to sit in on the post-game yesterday and let us talk through what was a tough day for those of us that like good things to happen to the Bears or wish for good things to happen, because it's hard to take anything positive away from a pretty gross afternoon, other than how it even with, and that's the thing, even though it started out well, being up 6-0 isn't bad, but you knew it wasn't enough. You knew that was going to come back to bite them, and everything was said at the time. Not to mention the Bears were banged up going into that game. Down Kyler Gordon, down Tyreek Stevenson. We knew they were down Jalen Johnson. I mean, the secondary was more than decimated. Decimated means a tenth of the soldiers are killed. That's why it's decimated. So they were more than decimated.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the next level, other words that would mean the similar thing. Other prefixes that would go higher than
They were
10.
bad.
Yeah, they're injured, hurt bad. But now you've got more injuries that occurred immediately during the game. Dominique Robinson hurt on the very first play, so he's out with the ankle. Shamar Turner hurt his knee. He was carted back to the locker room, so he's out. They lost Luther Burden to a concussion, and apparently today they're checking out Olamide Zaccheaus with his knee as well.
Did he say near foot? I can't remember what it was. Yeah.
It's not good.
No.
It is at the moment. And you know who has injury problems? Everybody.
Yep.
And as part of the game, it needs to be understood and expected when you start looking at depth, when you look at rosters, and especially when the schedules come out. You're like, oh, win, loss, win, loss, win, loss. You can't do it until you know who's hurt and who's not hurt. So the Bears right now, pretty hurt. And that was an exposure of a lot of our fears from early in the season.
Yeah, no, and looking at that game yesterday, you mentioned trying to find some positives for it, and there really aren't any. There isn't anything positive that you could say. I mean, Cairo Santos made a couple field goals, but you really don't want the team kicking field goals. You want touchdowns scored. You get in the red zone. The Bears are one of the worst teams in football when it comes to red zone efficiency for scoring touchdowns. They're actually, if you look at them, they're 26th. In red zone efficiency for touchdowns at 48%. Looking at those numbers, Dan, the Philadelphia Eagles, and this is touchdowns only, red zone efficiency, are at 85% for touchdowns, which is insane. But the Bears are down towards the bottom at 26th at 48%. and you get inside the 10, you're inside the 5 with first down, and you're not scoring.
The Eagles gave us some free advertising yesterday, too. Did you notice that?
No, I didn't. What'd they do?
With the tush push, where it looked like it could have been a fumble, but they kept saying forward progress.
Oh.
And all the articles talked about where they called forward progress. They're giving forward progress. I'm like, there you go.
All right, I'll call it. I'll pull it up. I'll grab that. That's great.
Keep saying it. It was in the aftermath and in all the reporting because like, well, what can you do on a tush push? You can't tackle the guy, and then as they're pushing, you can't knock the ball away, and they can just declare it's a first down to get rid of the play. It ignited all of the same overblown controversy over the play itself.
Yeah, that started before the season when they tried to do away with it and unsuccessful in that adventure. And then locally in Philadelphia, there's the Dude Wipes sponsor the play for I think their radio calls. So that's really good stuff.
I was listening to some of the radio calls over the weekend on Sirius XM.
Yeah,
and listening to Wayne Larrivee on some of the Packers call, and who was that with him? Larry McCarron.
That sounds correct. Yes,
the old center.
Yeah,
I like him. He's
no, it's good. I always loved Wayne. I always loved Wayne.
Wayne Larrivee.
Yeah.
He'll get mad too. It's like the Packers are gonna gash by the run. Like, okay.
No, he was always so good.
Whatever
I loved
they're
him.
doing, they're not stopping the run. And Larry McCarron's very calm. And he doesn't get crazy. He just assesses the play. I don't mind the vibe. I don't mind it. It's yet another thing I always find myself liking about the Packers. And I was rooting for the Packers to beat Aaron Rodgers into the ground.
Yeah, but with yesterday's game and trying to find positives, there aren't any there. No, that's all good. There aren't any there. And it's just looking at it, trying to evaluate it from a calm perspective, being level-headed, not the outraged meatball fan that I can be. We've discussed this and this progression for Caleb Williams. We've said the most important thing for this 2025 season is Ben Johnson as a head coach, Caleb Williams as the starting quarterback, giving him a partial redo on his rookie season, given everything that took place last year with the coaching staff. This is the most important thing. And we said that his progression was not going to be linear, and you're going to have these games. So in the big picture of things, yeah, this was a bad mark on Caleb Williams for his progression as an NFL quarterback. And I think you broke it down pretty nicely on DBU, looking at the different categories of a quarterback that you win because of, a guy that you win with.
I can just say it again, the rubric, sort of a basic way of looking at the quarterback developmental rubric or evaluation rubric would be a quarterback you win because of. And you're just a better team. The line is different because he's your quarterback.
Right.
Then you have win with, where doesn't get in your way, makes enough plays. He's good.
Part of the team effort.
But you win with him. He's not just automatic. You can win any game because he's your starter. Then you've got neutral. Then you have lose with, not good enough to help you overcome some of your deficiencies. And then you have lose because of, meaning if he's your quarterback, you're already underwater.
Right.
You're going to have to play call, program everything around him.
So I really like that idea, and I'm going to take it a little step further. And that neutral area, and we're going to make that 0, and then we're going to do a 1 and a 2, and then a -1 and -2, and kind of rank the games. I like that idea to go back and look at it. But here's the thing, though. There aren't many quarterbacks in the league that you win because of.
No, that's a great quarterback. A great quarterback.
Right. There's Mahomes. And in my opinion, I would say Joe Burrow.
Not Josh Allen?
It's sometimes, yes. I mean, like last year, they won, but he had a spectacular year, but it's not consistent with Josh Allen. It's consistent with Pat Mahomes. For me, it's consistent with Joe Burrow. And I know this is all a subjective opinion. And yeah, you could argue Josh Allen, sure. You could argue that. He's consistently in the MVP race. Sure, you want to put him in? I'm not going to dispute that.
And sometimes Dak Prescott looks like that. Sometimes he doesn't. Sometimes Justin Herbert looks like that.
Right, but there aren't guys consistently doing it game over game, season after season, like Pat Mahomes, like Joe Burrow. You win games because of those guys. Sure, Josh Allen, Dak Prescott.
Jalen Hurts is in there.
Jalen Hurts, yeah. Oh, absolutely, Jalen Hurts.
Well, I don't know. I think Jalen Hurts is more a high-end win with.
Yeah, it's a really interesting conversation to have when you look at all the starting quarterbacks in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it might be valuable to take a look and to kind of see the progression for it.
It's a blunter way of expressing the tiers that the Athletic does every year when they it's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's just a much less complicated way of
Which I like.
phrasing
I
it.
like less complicated. He's a good guy.
I know.
He goes less fishing with you. Anyway, this is just one of those. It's a bad mark in that progression for Caleb Williams.
Yes.
The most important aspect of this season is Caleb Williams and Ben Johnson, and it's a bad mark that doesn't result in any kind of end all be all statement.
Now I want to get to something. When we've got a lot of sound here that we got to do. But I want to bring up, I'm going to save it because I think we should go with the Ben Johnson opening comments and some of what he said about to whom the questions about some of this team's struggles should be asked.
Yeah.
When we start talking about the interception, I want to bring something up that came up in the post game yesterday.
Yeah, so this is Ben Johnson yesterday with the media after the loss to the Ravens, and these are just his opening comments.
Give Baltimore a lot of credit. They came out and they played a physical brand of football just like you would expect. They were hungry. They were determined, and truth be told, I expected a little bit more out of our squad to counter that on up. So we fell short. It's our first game in a while, really all season, that we didn't have a takeaway. And so when that happens, you really got to play a clean game, and we didn't. We're double digits in penalties once again. We're not scoring in the red zone. We couldn't quite get off the field as often as we'd like on defense. So they had some good drives. I think time of possession-wise, they did a nice job controlling the game. And like I said, we fell short. But our guys, we're gonna get this thing cleaned up. I know they understand how important it is that we play cleaner as a team and we complement each phase better than what we did today. And so that'll be our mission here this week.
So not a clean game, once again. Remember, we heard him say after week 6 he was hoping they'd be playing more clean football. Still not doing it now in week 8.
It's getting worse.
It's getting worse. He also mentioned about the Ravens. I thought this was interesting. He said that they were physical, they were hungry, and they were determined. Those are not characteristics of his Chicago Bears football team.
Did they head out there complacent?
I don't know. I mean, if you go out of your way to say those things about the opponent, that says a lot about your own team.
Well, all I know is
why were the Bears not determined? Why were the Bears not more hungry going into a game without Lamar Jackson? Why were you not more determined to get a victory on the road going against Tyler Huntley, who the Baltimore Ravens described as having one of the all-time great performances? Maybe it was for him. I haven't looked at his career. Maybe it was an
several
all-time
on the list that might be ahead of Tyler Huntley.
Great performance for him. Maybe it was just his all-time great performance. But why were you not more prepared and ready and determined and hungry to get this win on the road and prove who you are as a football team?
What is the second line of the Bears' signature victory chant?
The good, better, best.
No,
better.
that's the first line.
Not until your good gets better and your better gets best.
You're skipping one.
What am I skipping?
What's the second line?
Good, better, best. Good, better, best. Never let it rest. Never let it rest. Your good gets better. Your good gets better. And your better gets better. And your better gets better.
All right, never let it rest.
Are you saying they let it rest?
They must have.
See?
Because they weren't hungry. They weren't determined. They weren't as physical. I mean, the head coach is calling out those characteristics of the opponent. That to me is like, hey, team, he's frustrated. Ben Johnson's very frustrated with his football team.
And it's not all physical effort. A lot of it is mental. Penalties are mental. Penalties are concentration and awareness. Awareness of where you are in space. Where are you lined up? Where are you standing? Literally, all these football coaches like to talk about presence. And even managers in sales offices like to talk about being present and be where your feet are. Know where your feet, literally.
Yeah.
Look at your feet. Are you on sides? Are you lined up in the neutral zone? Are you covered up on the line of scrimmage on offense? That is simple stuff. Where are you standing,
That's
sir?
mental stuff. Yeah, here's what Benji, here, I'm going to just play that one more time.
Truth be told, I expected a little bit more out of our squad to counter that on up. So we fell short. It's our first game in a while, really all season, that we didn't have a takeaway. And so when that happens, you really got to play a clean game, and we didn't. We're double digits in penalties once again. We're not scoring in the red zone. We couldn't quite get off the field as often as we'd like on defense. So they had some good drives. I think time of possession wise, they did a nice job controlling the game. And like I said, we fell short. But our guys, we're gonna get this thing cleaned up. I know they understand how important it is that we play cleaner as a team and we complement each phase better than what we did today. And so that'll be our mission here this week.
Yeah, it was earlier in the cut. He talks about the mental aspects, the where you're lining up, the pre-snap stuff. It's too much. It's too much. And yeah, you're right. It's not a physical thing. So what's the issue? I don't understand what is the issue with this football team and the pre-snap stuff, the formation stuff. What aren't they getting?
And I asked this yesterday. I genuinely don't know. Look, you coach kids. I don't know what you do when an NFL team won't stop committing penalties. I genuinely don't know what you can do other than tell them to say, you can't bench guys. There's too much money at stake.
Right.
It's too hard every week to make sure you got your best people out there. You can't say, well, you do this again, you're benched. I'm pulling you out of a game. That is a rare thing at the NFL level.
It is a rare thing
for
but
penalties.
It's not something that you can't do for a player too. That's a basic thing that a youth coach does. A guy has a second holding penalty, so bring him out. You throw another guy out there for a couple plays. You talk to him on the sideline, and you get him back in the football game.
For a pro,
that shouldn't happen for a pro. Yes, penalties are going to happen. Teams are not going to go flawless through a season. I get that.
Why on every damn kickoff or punt return is there an illegal block in the back or a hold? Just why? Look at the guy in front of you.
So, Dan, here's the thing. It's one of three things, and maybe this is too simplistic. It's either the coach, it's the message, or it's the player. And I don't know if that's too simple, but for me, the Ben Johnson factor is a significant positive impact. Is it the message? Are not? And I can't see that as being the deficient aspect of that conversation. Is it the player? Do the players? And then you look at the player.
Look at the
does the
names
player just
of
not
the players.
care? Does the player doesn't understand? Are they not good enough?
Of what are you accusing the player? Does Josh Blackwell not? Is he not care enough about football because he got called for holding on the kickoff?
Yeah, I know.
The illegal hands to the face. Is some of it luck? Is some of it where you're doing the same things on every play and sometimes they call it and sometimes they don't? Nick McLeod is grabbing somebody's jersey. Things like that where there's always going to be hands play, and sometimes the line between that flag getting pulled and that flag not is capricious and arbitrary. Is there some of that? Yeah, I think there is some. I think when you go through at the end of the year, there usually isn't a huge difference between the most penalized and least penalized teams. It's separated by small margins.
Well,
I do think there is some variance involved, to be fair.
But here's the numbers on it right now. The Bears, through 7 games, have had 64 penalties called, accepted on them, 533 yards. 64, 533. That's an average of 9-76. But if you look at it, the Bears are the 7th most flagged team in football, overall. They are the 4th most flagged team in pre-snap penalties.
See, jumping off sides or being misaligned, there's no excuse.
No, there's not.
There's also, if you're rushing the passer, and the Bears don't get close enough to the quarterback for it to matter all that much, but don't hit the quarterback in the head. Don't make contact with the quarterback's head. And don't tackle him by his knees. Those are just rules. Just don't do that.
Yeah, there's nothing more frustrating for me in coaching kids when the defensive line jumps off sides. Particularly either a nose tackle or a defensive lineman that is right in front of you.
Yes.
Right, the ball's right in front of you, and you're literally jumping over the ball to be offsides. I don't understand how it happens with professional player. I don't understand it. If you look, Dan, too, at the net yards based on penalties, the Bears are the worst in football, or number one if you want to make the negative category. Negative 279 net yards on penalties. They are the worst in football. Negative 279 net yards.
By the John Madden rule, that's close to 3 touchdowns worth.
The 31st or the second worst team in football as far as the net yards are concerned on penalties are the Broncos at 142.
Wow, they're double?
Dan, the Bears are 279. The Broncos at number 2 are 142. And the Bears have done that in 7 games. The Broncos have played 8.
They're more than double. That's a crisis.
Oh, almost. They are double. Just about.
But I'm saying, but considering the game in hand.
Yeah, 279, 142, 7 games, 8 games.
Now, when you talk about it's either the coach, the message, or the players.
I don't know. Is that too simple?
No. So this is why I want you to play the Ben Johnson comment where I may be reading into this.
Let's play it.
Okay.
Let's play it, and then you can, let's see.
Okay.
I think you see flashes of some explosive plays and some really good things happening. But the penalties to me is what stands out first and foremost. We still have some of the pre-snap issues. There's occasional not getting lined up quite right. There's occasional not getting the motion quite right. And so that stuff it adds up and it hurts us. We get away with it occasionally, but it's just not the way you win in this league. And so I think I really put it on the leaders there in that locker room to get this ship going the right direction in that regard. Us coaches, we've been pounding that drum now for a while, and we haven't gotten the results we wanted. So it's on the leaders here on this team to get us right.
Yeah, he's frustrated. He's done with it.
Then.
The coaches, we've been doing it
Talk
for
to
a
them.
long time. Yeah,
We've been pounding it for a long. Talk to them. That is, we're doing everything you want us to do. Go talk to them.
right.
Okay, you don't get to do that multiple times in a season.
Yeah, I told you he's
don't get to
very
the-
frustrated
that's
with
the
his
old,
team.
It used to be a literal point to the locker room door.
Yeah.
When coaches would do the post game standing outside the locker room, you'd see it in the NBA all the time. Because
Go talk to them.
Standing outside of the coaches, often point that way.
Yeah, 'cause
manager's office in baseball, they put. That point, that's what that was.
Yeah, and your reporters are asking you, why is your team not doing this? Why are they still doing these things? And Ben Johnson, he's very frustrated. Listen,
to them.
hey, the coaches, we've been on it. We've been on it.
That's a big deal.
So go talk to them. Go talk to them about it.
There's occasional not getting lined up quite right. There's
Why? Why are you not getting lined up quite right?
occasional not getting the motion quite right.
How are you getting motion wrong? What are the plays too complicated? Do you not understand them?
Are they not being called clearly enough in the huddle?
And so that stuff it adds up and it hurts us. We get away with it occasionally, but it's just not the way you win in this league. And so I think, I really put it on the leaders there in that locker room to get this ship going the right direction in that regard. Us coaches, we've been pounding that drum now for a while, and we haven't gotten the results we wanted. So it's on the leaders here on this team to get us right.
It's on the leaders to get us right.
Right. Right the ship.
Pull that quote. Pull that quote.
Yeah.
It is on the leaders of this team to get us right. We've been pounding. We're doing it.
Us coaches have done it. We've been doing it for a long time now.
That's a finger and not a thumb.
It's not working. So
Talk to them.
again,
Who are they now?
coaches message players. Coaches message players. It's not the coaches.
Ben's saying
not the
it-
message.
Ben's saying it's the players.
It's the players.
So who's he talking about?
As far as the leaders,
Who's he talking about? He's got somebody in mind. I can tell you one, Caleb Williams. He's talking about Caleb Williams. He's the damn quarterback of the team.
who else? We know that Grady Jarrett is a leader on defense. No, but I know Dan, but he's done it.
Grady Jarrett's a talker.
They made
on
a story
defense.
out of that. But he's a leader. He's a leader on that team. Is he a guy? Joe Tooney. Is he a guy?
I wouldn't even know what his voice sounded like.
Dahlman.
DJ Moore? Follow the money, right?
Montez Sweat then.
Follow the money. Who are the
Well, that's Jonah Jackson. That's Drew Dahlman.
But see, I would ask that. When you say the leaders, who?
I know. I'm more with that. We know that Ben is very calm in his delivery.
But how
with
did
the media.
that not get asked?
It's
on the leaders of this team. Who are the leaders of this team in your estimation right now?
Maybe
If he doesn't want to say, no. Maybe
the regular beat people know better than we do.
Doesn't then name them. You can't let him do that and let him say that without asking. You can't call out your players. It's on them. We banged that drum. We pounded that. That's on them now. I'm taking that off my plate. You go talk. Who?
Well,
honestly, I would say, Coach, we're going to go talk to them as soon as we get done with you.
Who are the Bears captains right now? Because I know that there's a floating one every week. It's Caleb.
Komet, right?
Is it?
Look them up. Look up Bears captains. Because that's a huge deal. When I heard that, there were a couple things yesterday. Because we can let people, when we were texting afterwards, you came back from your game. Jay and I did the post game before Ben Johnson talked. And then after he talked and I started reading those quotes.
All right. Caleb Williams, Joe Thuney, Grady Jarrett, Kevin Byard, Cairo Santos. Those are the five.
I don't count kickers. Whatever. So no Komet.
No Komet. Yeah. Williams, Thuney, Jarrett, Byard, and then there's a floating guy every week.
All right. Well, there you go.
Those are the four main guys.
Those are your leaders?
I get. They're your captains.
All right. Well, go out. If I were a reporter,
there's your two offensive captains.
If I were a reporter,
your two defensive
that would be
captains.
My week would be.
But the question
to make
was
sure I asked that of every and ask the same question. Why are there so many penalties and what are we doing about it?
But the question was about getting the offense right. So if you're looking, you're not expecting Grady Jarrett or Kevin Byard to do that.
Okay.
So that's Joe Thuney and Caleb Williams.
Okay.
Those are your offensive captains.
Okay. Are there other leaders? However, that's just captains. He didn't say captains.
Yeah, he said leaders.
I'm sure there are leaders who are not captains. Is Rome Odunze a leader? Because he's your best wide receiver?
Well, in that regard, without performance on the field, DJ Moore has to be a leader.
Is Cole Kmet a leader?
He has to be
because he's a great talker.
Should be. But
so what if, do what he said. Go talk to him.
One of your leaders, though, is a culprit in this penalty area as well, too. How does that work? You guys need to get in line. What about you?
Ask. All you can do is ask. All you can do is get out there and ask these questions. But for a coach to say, not our problem right now. We've been pounding it.
Well,
that's up to them.
Let me say this to you, though. I know that leadership isn't just a title. Being a leader isn't just a title, okay? And if these are the guys that are your leaders that are expected to get the ship right and get these guys in order, you have Caleb Williams, whose performance on the field doesn't demand that type of respect. It doesn't. His position does. His performance hasn't. DJ Moore, his effort level has been in question all season long. Joe Thuney is brand new to the team, brand new to the squad, but he's a guard
and not a talker.
Not a talker at all. Cole Kmet, you have a lot of fucking penalties. Are you going to hear him out as a leader, telling you to get yourself right with the penalties and the pre-snap bullshit when he's doing a lot of it? There's a big disconnect there.
These are great questions. Or in the back of his mind is Ben Johnson thinking, most of the guys on this roster aren't that important right now. I'm not even worried about it. That once I get my guys in here, once we upgrade the roster, it isn't going to be a problem. And he's just trying to get to the end of the press conference and doesn't care.
Or
is thinking
another option is
people are going to make a big deal out of this.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal.
Another option is he's just a frustrated guy. Hey, I'm doing everything I can, and talk to them about it. I'm tired. I'm tired of talking about it. He's just being a human, being a guy.
What I'm saying is that resonates in the locker room.
Yeah, it does. And he's gone to that well once before.
It resonates in the locker room.
When he said that they weren't practicing hard.
Uh-huh.
Who wants to practice hard to be a part of the game plan this week? Courtney asked the question about two specific players, about Loveland and about Burden, and it turned into that whole blanketed thing about not practicing hard as a team.
But that's what I want to hear now. If he says it's up to the leaders of this team, now it's time to go find out what he meant, who are the leaders, and ask them the same questions. because Ben doesn't want to answer it.
Yeah.
He deflected.
He's tired of talking about it.
Tired of talking about it.
Right.
So I want to move on to something else where we have a lot of follow-ups to ask, and that has to do with the interception that effectively ended the game.
Right. So it was 16-13 at that point, and Caleb throws the interception. Ben Johnson's asked about it first.
Yeah, I didn't quite see it. I'll have to check it out on film just one more time. Just in my mind, there might have been another option that we could have gotten to.
There might have been another option that we might have gotten to. Now, again, we know that Ben, in this first half of the season, has either taken the bullet or chosen his words wisely when talking about his quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
The code there
might have been.
Yeah, the code that there is he made the wrong choice.
Somebody else was open.
Yeah.
Bad read.
That wasn't, bad read. That wasn't the guy he was supposed to go to.
If you speak coach, you know that's bad read.
Yeah. Bad read. Now, here's the thing. Let's go to Caleb Williams, who met the media yesterday after the loss. He was asked about the interception.
It was a good read. Rome man-to-man with the guy that caught the pick, and I just didn't give a good ball to Rome.
Good read. Didn't give a good ball. Okay, so I've heard both of these comments and have had time to process and think about it. It's very possible, Dan, that both are true. That it wasn't the primary read. It wasn't the right way to go. It wasn't the right decision for the quarterback to make. It could have been a good read, but not the primary read, and it was just a bad ball. All of that could be true. But you have to take the history of Caleb Williams under Ben Johnson's offense. More times than not, he's not making the right read. Or he's missing the primary read altogether. And throwing a bad ball.
I'm going to split the difference in a different way.
All right.
A read can be rendered wrong. A correct read can, in the blink of an eye, be an incorrect read when you're late.
When you're late. The timing's there. Yep.
When you throw it on time, it's a good read. It can be fine.
Yeah.
But if you're late, it's then a bad read. And once that window is closed, and by the time you see it closed, it's way too late. That's where Caleb's not there yet.
Yeah.
I think it was there. And they're like, well, he undercut it. Of course he undercut it because the throw was late.
Yeah.
That gave him time to undercut it. Everything, if you do the stop action of the all-22, and I haven't done it yet, but I've seen the play over and over again. It was a good read, and everything Caleb's saying would be correct if the ball was out and waiting for him.
All right, so all those things are accurate and true. It just, again, it goes back to his timing, which we've talked about all 7 games now.
Awareness, understanding of its rhythm, its timing.
And the difference now in yesterday's game, as opposed, was it the Saints or the Raiders game that he should have had 2 picked? That actually went off guys' hands or bodies or arms. I can't remember if it was Raiders or Saints. But that's the difference. This one's caught. Those weren't. And are we talking about different outcomes in those games if those are picked? Particularly that Raiders game, if that's where it was. Again, my memory it fails me now as you're looking at your beautiful mind notes.
Good luck to me.
Yeah, good luck. Do you even know which game was which?
Yeah.
I'm sure the listeners going right now screaming at their...
What am I doing with my life?
I don't know.
Seriously, what am I doing? This is my life.
I will say I'm impressed how your notes are consistent through all 4 quarters.
I have a system.
My pages diminish a bit as we get through the game.
Well, yesterday because we started early.
Yeah,
I kind of trailed off, but like.
But that's the difference though.
I've been
the
doing
difference
this
is
for years.
So
there's something terribly wrong with me.
Dan, we've talked about Caleb's timing all season, and not pulling the trigger when it's there and seeing it late.
That's all this is, though. That's what the puzzle is. That's how you unlock all this. That's how it works. That's how everything is designed to work. And when they run the scripted plays, you can get a glimpse of it.
Yeah.
When they know what they're going to do and they've practiced some of these things, then it looks okay.
Can you maybe just script the entire game and just not be concerned with the actual game itself?
If they can remember it, but ideally, a really good play caller, that's what it looks like.
Yeah.
You are scripting the entire game, and you're able to write on the fly.
It was a good read. Rome man to man with the guy that caught the pick, and I just didn't give a good ball to Rome.
See, now not that I want either of these things, either a bad read or a bad throw, but yeah, he was late on it. I can understand a quarterback making a bad throw from time to time. I get that. I'm not expecting him to be flawless and perfect in his execution of his throws. Bad throws are going to happen. They're going to happen at every level to every player.
Mm-hmm.
The issue of understanding the primary receiver, like that touchdown pass to Monungai that should have been 2 games ago, that wasn't. He was wide open. He was the primary guy and made a bad decision. That stuff has to stop. Like, that has to stop. I'm never going to say, you can't make a bad throw ever. You're going to make bad throws. But that's the stuff that needs to develop in the course of this relationship. We're looking at big picture things.
It's really interesting. Yesterday during the post game, Jason said, I would much rather he make a bad throw than a bad read.
Yes, because generally speaking, that's not always true. Bad throws don't always turn into INTs or 6 going the other way.
He said just as far
they
as
can, obviously. They can.
He said, I'd rather he make a bad throw than a bad read. I don't know what happened at the end of the game to DJ Moore, wide open in the end zone.
Yeah.
What was that?
I don't know.
Like how? What was that? It was like he was throwing with his opposite hand.
Yeah.
I don't know what was going on. But
yeah, and again, I mean, that's part of what, that's part of what he's done in these 7 games. All right, I think that's is that all the cuts?
No, we wanted to get to Caleb on the 2 intentional groundings.
I wanted to play this one.
When is the last time a Bears quarterback had 2 intentional groundings in the same game?
Oh, I don't know. I'd have to look. I can't.
Did anybody say that?
I don't know. I'll look it up.
That seems like too many.
But this was clear intentional grounding. I know the radio call didn't quite agree with it, but it was clearly intentional grounding. Now, here's what's interesting about what Caleb said on this. He's asked about it. Listen to his answer, Dan.
The intentional grounding just wasn't on the same page with Loveland. I was throwing him breaking out. It was a choice route, so this isn't anything about Loveland and anything like that. We just weren't on the same page. It's a choice route. He has a couple different options to break in, sit, or break out and things like that. And it just wasn't on the same page, and that comes with reps and things like that. So. I think that's what it comes down to.
All right, so here's the deal. If you remember the route, he was running down the seam, and it was either a break in and sit down or a break out.
Which usually just means, man or zone.
Caleb threw the out. He was still running. He wasn't even sitting at this point yet. Okay? So he's still in motion in his route, and he threw the out, and it wasn't even close. He wasn't even close to the ball. So being on the same page, and it's a matter of reps things, it wasn't even close. It wasn't as if Loveland made his break for the out and Caleb threw it.
Well, maybe Caleb actually did the right thing. Maybe Caleb did anticipate the break and threw it on time.
Well, if you look at the picture, just even on your TV screen, if you see it, that was the right decision, because there's still defenders there in the middle. Mm-hmm. He turns and sits. That's going to be a harder throw than making a good outbreak.
When you're going that way.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, and maybe it is just as simple as Loveland not breaking soon enough. Okay, and them not being on the same page. But here's what I wanted to highlight from that was that comment, the not being on the same page. How many times after these 7 games are we hearing that phrase? Not being on the same page. When it comes to the run game and offensive linemen, the running backs, the quarterback, the receivers on scrambling playbook, those secondary plays, how many times are we hearing from this team, we're just not on the same page? What the fuck is going on that you're not on the same page?
That's coordination.
Why are we not on the same page? Or let me rephrase that. Why are we off the same page so frequently? Why are there different pages so many times? Why?
If you're saying that the motion's not correct, the little things that begin the play from the moment you break the huddle, is your alignment correct? Are your splits right?
God, is your motion correct? He's even asking.
So I mean, are your feet right? And I think the answer is all of the above. That when the details are off from jump, did you call the play right in the huddle? Does everybody know what they're supposed to do? Was everything well communicated? That little tiny things, by the time the ball's snapped, the answer is all of those things have created the problems. And each play is not necessarily this guy's fault, that guy's fault. That's the thing about football.
Yeah.
You can't look at it like baseball. You can't just say,
well, that guy struck out with bases loaded.
Right.
Yeah.
Or that guy dropped the ball when it was hit.
Ground ball hit to him. Yeah. Right
or
through his legs.
That guy made the first out at third or the third out at third.
Yeah.
Like those, it's really hard to do that in football because everything is so interconnected.
Yeah. Because on that particular play, a Raven player gets through unblocked, untouched, forces that quick throw.
Was it Van Noy again?
It might have been. Yeah. It might have been. And I think just looking at the picture itself and remembering in my head, that was the correct. But if it's a decision, if you have two routes that this can conclude in, yet you have a guy that has a hard time pulling the trigger, that's never going to be on time. That's tough.
I don't know that I'm going to walk quite that close to the abyss with you.
Oh, no, I'm not walking close to it. I pointed it out.
Yeah.
I pointed it out. It's way down the road.
It's over there?
It's way over there, and I'm just letting you know, don't go that way, Dan. I'm not tiptoeing on the edge of the abyss. No, I wasn't calling you in motion. I was saying, don't go that way, Dan.
You're kind of waving me to at least kind of stare into it.
I don't believe you.
By the way, you see what's down there?
No, here's what I have a picture of it. There you go.
All right.
That's what's down there.
Oh, I don't want to go there.
But you know where I do want to go in 2 weekends.
And you're going to.
Where do I want to go?
You want to go to Beer Church
Yes,
Brewery.
I do.
And make some pizza in New Buffalo, Michigan. And I say, yeah, you can go make the pizza. And maybe John will just let you. I don't know if you got to schedule a party. You probably can get a special deal over there. But I've done it, and I recommend it highly. Not just going and hanging out especially like on a weekend. There's games on. There's TVs everywhere, and there's beer flowing, and there's food everywhere. It's just an awesome place. So if you're making that trip, and it's a short one. And you think about Chicago traffic anyway, and you look at how long it takes you to get somewhere, even in the city. Once you get out of the city, it's cake, or say it's pizza, because that's what you're going to find at Beer Church. And they've got all sorts of their small batch craft beers that are really good. You can sample them all, and they can't wait to see you there. And I know John is a proud partner here of Forward Progress. If you see him, say, hey, by the way, loving the podcast. Great to hear you on the podcast. But for your party, for your whole crew, for your workplace, they can handle up to 300 people. Or maybe it's not 300. Maybe it's your fantasy football guys. And at the end of the year, the loser is gonna buy everybody drinks or something like that. Go make pizza. It's going all winter, so you can schedule a party there, and you learn about the dough and the Italian history of pizza napolitan, how to stretch the dough, how to top it, and it takes the fire is so hot they put it in there, and it feels like it's instant almost, and then it comes out and the cheese is dripping, and it's outstanding. So go to beerchurchbrewing.com. And look at the schedule, say, hey, when can you accommodate our group? We definitely want to do this. Or grab the wife and kids and go. It's super kid-friendly. They've got a massive menu, which they refer to as the Beer Church Hymnal, because they lean into the church stuff. And when I say it's a big menu, I mean, it is. There's all kinds of awesome things in here. Oh, don't make me see the light. Don't make me. Don't make me.
Can we call you Reverend Bernstein?
I start getting into a religious fervor. I'll be speaking in tongues because it's good. BeerChurchBrewing.com, New Buffalo's brewery, pizzeria, and a historic church. So give it a shot. Maddie's going to have his little trip report for us when he gets back.
Yeah, I can't wait to go. One thing I want to mention before we wrap up today, because I forgot to do it on DBU, and if I don't do it now, I'll never mention it to you. I watched a Netflix documentary over the weekend.
Okay.
I watched, was it Saturday morning, early Saturday morning? I was watching it, I think. Yes. There's a new one just came out last week about the Montreal Expos, and it's entitled Who Killed the Montreal Expos?
Okay.
It's fucking fantastic.
Did it make you think of Gary from Evanston?
Oh, God,
the
the whole thing. The whole time I was thinking about Gary.
Every time Youppi is on there?
Yes. I mean, the whole time. It's really, really good. I totally recommend it for you to watch. You would really enjoy it. And to see about Jeffrey Loria and David Sampson. And I mean, if you want
the answer to
if you want to question it,
right, yes.
I have an answer.
I think I know.
Yes.
Right.
Documentary maker, I can tell you who did it. If you want the answer,
forget it. I guess we won't make the documentary.
Yeah, no,
then.
make it because your documentary answers your own question. Really good though, good stuff. And I forgot how good that 94 team was. And when the strike happened and the season ended, they were 74-40.
It was going to be White Sox Expos.
Yeah.
That was your World Series.
Man, was it good. So, again, a recommendation there for you to watch that. Who Killed the Montreal Expos? And
right.
it's on Netflix. You'll enjoy it.
That's going to do it for Forward Progress. That was a lot today. There was some stuff in there. And I do think it sort of sets up our week. That there was enough in that initial post game that I do think merits follow-up. I really do. About the leaders, about what constitutes a good read or not. I think there's some digging in.
Yeah, for sure.
That we've got to do on this, and I look forward to doing that throughout the week. So thanks for joining us on Forward Progress. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you know for the post games that you got alerts on all that stuff. And we'll be here all week talking Bears.
10, 219, 219.
Forward Progress. A Chicago Bears podcast with Dan Bernstein and Matt Abatacola on 312 Sports.